What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Vietnam Meets Dustin for my Vietnamese friends. Xin chào mọi người. Oi tôi có phổ đề tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh. This video is going to be a bit different. I'm just going to be answering a lot of questions that I receive on my YouTube channel. And I hope I can answer most of them. I don't think I'll be able to get to all of them, but I will do my best. I'll start with simple to longer response questions. So basic question, my name is Dustin. It's in Vietnam Meets Dustin, but Dustincheverier is my full name, but I just go by Dustin. You can call me Tutin in Hanoi. You can call me Zutin or Turtin. I don't really care. I'm used to different pronunciations for my name and I'll respond to most of them. How old I am? I am 30. I was born in 1988. I know a lot of my Vietnamese audience will be like, no, you're 31. Okay, so in Vietnam, I'm 31. In the United States, I'm 30. Am I married? No, I am not married. Short answer. So how tall am I? I am 1.91 meters or 6'3". My weight fluctuates between maybe 94 to 96, 7 kilos. Right now it's after that. A lot of bánh chưng, bánh tét, beer, so béo một chút. I'm a little fat right now. In pounds, it's about like 207 to 213 pounds. Depends kind of on the time of the year. During that, I always gain 3-4 kilos. It's normal, and I'll lose it like a month afterwards. Sometimes you guys ask me, who's tall in my family? You know, my mom is actually the tall one. She's taller than my dad. My mom, she used to be, she's shorter now for a number of reasons, but she used to be 6 foot, and I think 6 foot in centimeters is 180. And my dad is, I don't know centimeters, in inches and feet. My dad, I think, is 5'9". Sorry, Dad, if you're taller than 5'9". I think you're 5'9", or shorter. In centimeters, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. I don't know what it is in centimeters. But yeah, so my mom is taller than my dad. So I get the height from my mom, and my dad is the short one in the family. Sorry, Dad. I don't know if you're watching it. All right, so where are you from? I'm from the United States. I'm originally from Southern California, or Orange County, California. I think maybe a lot of people, they might know Little Saigon. My house is very near Little Saigon. Like 35, 45 minutes or so, give or take if there's traffic. So yeah, so being from Southern California. All right, so how long have I been in Vietnam? I originally came to Vietnam in August 2014. It's been about 4.5 years. So I first lived 2 years in Nha Trang and then another 2.5 years now in Ho Chi Minh City. Nha Trang and Ho Chi Minh, they're very different. I like them for different things. But yeah. Do I speak tiếng Việt? Tôi nói tiếng Việt được không? Không. Sao? No. Tôi nói tiếng Việt một chút chút. Khi nào tôi quay kênh YouTube của tôi, nói tiếng Việt khó. Khi nào tôi nói tiếng Việt, phát âm của tôi không được, có thể người Việt không hiểu, nên tôi mắc cỡ. Yeah, tôi không biết nói như thế nào. Thinking, suy nghĩ. Sau này tôi nói tiếng Việt nhiều hơn. Bây giờ tôi luyện tập tiếng Việt, but khó, rất khó. Khi nào tôi quay kênh YouTube, nói tiếng Việt khó lắm. And yeah, it's really difficult to film and speak tiếng Việt. I'd have to practice a lot. I will try in the future. I'll do maybe some more videos or maybe just talk to the camera. I can speak probably more tiếng Việt than most people think, but when I'm filming or I'm multitasking, it's really difficult. It's really difficult for me to film. Some things I can talk a lot about if it's like hobby-wise. Some things I can't at all. Yeah, I'm still just a beginner for tiếng Việt, but in the future, again, I will practice a bit more. Do I like Vietnam? Yeah, of course. I live here, so I like Vietnam. No country is perfect. United States, there's good and bad things. Vietnam, there's good and bad things, but I like Vietnam. I love Vietnam. Vietnamese people are very, very friendly, and yeah, I'm quite happy here. What is your job? I think some people already know my job. I do a number of things at the moment. I work as a model for one of the jobs, and sometimes like filming and video production. Modeling is just part-time, it's on the side, because with modeling, there's not enough work for me to do it full-time, and partially because of my size and my measurements, it limits me because I can't wear a lot of the clothes. So I just model sometimes. I don't do it all the time, but just occasionally. I work for VTV7. I do an educational program for VTV7. It's called Follow Us. Some of you who watch my YouTube channel are familiar with this. And it's based in Hanoi. So especially right now, in the spring and summer months, I have to go to Hanoi quite often for filming. I quit my full-time position back almost a year ago. No, not a year ago, like 9 months ago. I'm trying to think the months. Yeah, I quit my full-time position then. I was doing management. I still do some work for that company, but it's mostly marketing aspects. So I'm not doing any management anymore, and I'm not really so involved with that company at the time being. So that is my job, or jobs, for right now. And also, like with YouTube at the moment is a hobby. I would like to do more with YouTube in the future. Right now, because I generally film my own videos, I edit my own videos, and then when you're uploading videos, there's quite a bit of like behind the scenes stuff, and it takes a lot of time. I'm not the most savvy with computers and technology. I never had Facebook until I was 28 years old, and I've lived pretty much off the grid my entire life, and I'm having to learn a lot right now, and it's so confusing. I don't know computers. I know science quite well, but computers, I'm trying. Why did I come to Vietnam? This is a question I get asked quite often, and it's a long answer. I think it's an interesting story. I don't know for you guys, but for me it's interesting. So, where do I start with this? Okay, growing up in Southern California, I've had Vietnamese friends, especially in college, because I studied nutrition science in college. So my science background was overlapped with a lot of other majors. So if somebody's studying pharmacy, or if they're wanting to be a doctor, you have to take a lot of the core science classes together. And I made some really good friends that were from Vietnam, who were taking general chemistry and organic chemistry, and we spent about a year, 2 years taking the same classes, and I was exposed to a lot of Vietnamese culture at that time. And I've always liked Vietnamese food. I didn't know too much about Vietnam, and spending time with these guys, it's really kind of opened my eyes to Vietnam, and it really spiked my interest, and I wanted to come to Vietnam. So that was one aspect that brought my attention to Vietnam. Another aspect was I used to be a very competitive cyclist and runner in my younger days. I don't do that at all now, but I did something called bicycle touring. So one of the bicycle tours that I've done when I was younger is I rode a bicycle from Vietnam and Hồ Chí Minh to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, to Bangkok, Thailand, to Viet Thanh in Laos, back to Vietnam, and back south to Ho Chi Minh City. I did this alone. I did about 6 weeks, no phone, no computer. This is just kind of like my adventurous lifestyle and the things that I used to do in my younger days. And when I was in Da Nang, I met a very friendly doctor who was from Bù Mô Thot. I think it was Bù Mô Thot, somewhere in Dak Lak. I don't remember, but that's okay. Real friendly guy. I spent the day with him. We had some great conversations, and he gave me his contact information. So his email, his telephone number, his name. At the time, I didn't think much of it because that would happen every once in a while. So continued with my bicycle journey. So I rode to Ho Chi Minh City. I flew back to the United States. I went back to university because I did this for my summer vacation. After I graduated college, like most young people when they graduate college, they don't really know what they want to do. And now it's like you're done with school, you've been focusing on this for most of your life, and now you have to get into the workforce. And again, I mentioned earlier, I studied nutrition science in college with an emphasis in education. So I took a lot of my internship classes and also core classes in education for teaching. So I was teaching science classes at the university. And I was like, you know what? I was considering going to graduate school to get a PhD in nutritional anthropology because I love nutrition, health, and food and culture. It's partially with my YouTube channel, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with that. I ended up getting into medical work. So I studied as an EMT, so it's an emergency medical technician. It's similar to a paramedic, but it's less certifications, less schooling, and also phlebotomist and different certifications in the medical field, so I can do different scopes of practice, because I wanted to go to school to be a physician's assistant. And finished that, I was working on the other side of America for a medical job, and was kind of bored. I've always wanted to live in another country, and I remember the doctor from Da Nang, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send him an email. This is 3 years later, so I don't know if this guy's gonna remember me. So I sent him an email. Hey, this is Dustin. I met you in Da Nang about 3 years ago, and I would love to come to Vietnam to do some sort of maybe volunteer work or something within the hospital, because at the time I'm doing that type of work in the US. And he's like, yeah, Dustin, no problem. I remember you. Come to Nha Trang, come to Nha Trang. And I was like, all right, can I know a bit more information? He's like, oh, no problem, come to Nha Trang, my friend will help you. And I was like, okay, let's go to Nha Trang. So let's finish with my medical job. I came to Vietnam as a medical volunteer. So I was working in Kham Hoa Bệnh viện, in the emergency room, so 115, and helping medical patients. In Nha Trang, you also have, because my Vietnamese audience, you know, there's a lot of foreigners in Nha Trang, so doing stuff with foreigners as well. So I came to Vietnam as a medical volunteer, and I decided to stay, because I like Vietnam, and yeah, I decided to stay. For me to continue doing medical work, I'd have to fly to the United States quite often, because you have to do continuous schooling, and then you have to renew a lot of your certifications, and that was a bit challenging. And I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm gonna stay in Vietnam and try to start things here. And that's kind of my story for why I came to Vietnam. There's a bit more to it. I don't want to talk for like 30 minutes. There's a lot to talk about, but that's why I came to Vietnam. So I did a bicycle trip when I was young, met a doctor 3 years later. He helped me get a volunteer position in Nha Trang Hospital. So that's why I came. That was a great experience. I learned a lot, because it's a different country, so a different way of doing things. And for me, I'm very appreciative for that time and being there to be able to do something like that. Okay, so other questions. So what is my YouTube channel about? I think most people understand the concept of like countryside activities, but my YouTube channel, I'm trying to capture the concept of I'm a foreigner living in Vietnam, learning from Vietnamese people. And that's what my YouTube channel is primarily about. I will do other videos occasionally, but I love to learn from people. A lot of the men and even women in the countryside, they have these skill sets that I've never been exposed to. And for me to see how they do it and how they're living, it enhances my life, and I love to learn from them. Because I really enjoy the countryside. As a child, I would go hunting, I would go fishing, I would backpack, I would climb mountains. My father is an extremely adventurous man, and I will be making YouTube videos when I go back to California. I'm not sure when, but when I do go, I'll make some interesting videos. I promise, they'll be really cool. And I love spending time with people and learning, because that's something I think everyone should do, and you're always trying to expand the knowledge that you have, and especially skill sets. For me, as just a man, for myself, I feel like it's very important to know how to do a lot and being fully capable. Because I know we live in a time where you don't really need to do this stuff, but for me, it's important. It's really important. And the more time I spend in the countryside and the more time I spend with Vietnamese people, it helps me understand the culture a lot more. And for most stuff, nothing really like bothers me. You know, mosquitoes, insects, hot weather, sleeping outside, I don't really care. It's just, yeah, it's not a problem. It helps me to become more confident, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Alright, you guys, I hope I was able to answer enough of the question. If you guys have other questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. I I might make another video in the future if you guys want to hear me talk more. I'm more than happy to do it. These videos are quite easy to make. I'm just sitting in a park. As soon as I'm done filming, I'm going to practice my slingshot because I haven't been able to shoot it for a while and I need to maintain a certain level. For you guys, I'm trying to be more active on my other social media accounts, especially my Instagram account. If you guys want to check that out, I will try to post a bit more about my life and different things with Instagram. Facebook, I'm also active. You can definitely check that out. I'll put my Instagram and Facebook at the end of the video and then put it in the description box below. So if you guys want to follow me or check it out, don't follow me, it's okay. But if you're just curious about my life, it's there for you. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you later. Take care. También. Bye-bye.